Hi, welcome back to my channel, A Busy Retirement with me, Georgie. Happy New Year, welcome to 2026. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year, and I hope 2026 brings us all a happy year, safe, healthy, prosperous, whatever you wish for. Now, I haven't been around a lot, as most of you know. I usually do a video a week, but I haven't been able to do as many over the last year. This was because my stepmom took sick on Mother's Day in May of last year and got to the point where she'd be getting better. She was in a transitional care, aged care facility. She was getting better, almost going home. The staff in the transitional care facility were absolutely wonderful. The nursing staff, the OTs, the physios, even management, all staff that she came in contact with were always bright and cheerful and encouraging her to get stronger and get to the point where she could go home. And we'd get there and she'd have a fall. Now, one day she sat on the edge of the bed and slid off it. Unfortunately, slid sideways and got jammed between the bed and the little chest of drawers that sits there. So we had this up and down until Christmas Eve, when she was admitted to the hospital and never went back to the transitional care facility. She was transferred to another ward in the hospital for palliative care. And on New Year's Eve, 24-hour round-the-clock bedside vigil was started, because we did promise her we would never leave her alone, and we kept that promise to her until she finally passed away at 6:30 on Monday, the 5th of January. It was very peaceful. She was surrounded by a lot of love. Her funeral will be next Monday, the 19th. So I'm still a little bit not in normal gear at the moment. But now, given time, give me a couple of weeks and I think I'll start getting back into things and I'll have more content to give you. Now, one thing I did have an issue with, and you probably saw the video, I don't know if I did get 2 new subscribers over the Christmas period. They saw my Christmas video. It just popped up out of the blue on their own. I suppose they watch YouTube, or the YouTubers, and mine just happened to pop in there, so they had a look. Calico Ponies. I'm not quite sure where Calico Ponies comes from. And there's also Brad from Toowoomba, which is in the Darling Downs area of Queensland, southern Queensland, over the other side of the country. So welcome to you guys. I hope you do stick around, and I hope you enjoy the content that I put out. Talking about that content, you will have seen the video, or most of you would have seen the video, where I was having issues, especially when I was doing the G'day from WA section, where I was doing the screen recording of like the Transperth, the Smart Rider getting on the public transport here, information for seniors. When I was recording the screen, my voice and my mouth were not in sync. It started off good, and then halfway through, all of a sudden it just go bleep, and it was like, oh, interesting. So I don't advertise for the products I use, but I don't hide what I use. If I'm doing a painting project, I'll tell you what brand of paint I'm using. I am not paid to advertise these products. I'm not interested in getting paid to advertise these products, because then you get inundated with other people wanting you to advertise their product, and I cannot try to sell something to you that I do not like. So you can guarantee if I tell you I'm using it because it's good. Okay. So I sent an email to the tech people, the tech support people at Camtasia, or Tech. It's actually TechSmith. It's one of the TechSmith products. I've used Camtasia since, I don't know, 2005, I think I started looking at it. I was going around the state teaching staff how to use basically laptops, because nurses, social workers, physios, they didn't use laptops. Everything was done on paper. You know, they write things down, and then the information would be given to a clerk at the hospital, who would then do the data entry. So they're not trained to use computers. So I was travelling around the state teaching them how to do data entry into the computer to put their notes in. Then the boss decided it would be a good idea if I could do a video tutorial, which would be a lot cheaper than flying me around the state all the time, because WA is a very big state and it's not cheap to fly. So if I could do video tutorials, and then they could all just go and have a look, because that would then be attached to the software. A just said, go and have a look, see if there's a software out there. Now, when I got my job, I didn't know how to turn a computer on. So most of what I do is self-taught. I do watch other YouTube channels to get information, get ideas. And the software I use, I watch their tutorials too. So anyway, did that. Been using the software all that time. And when I retired in 2017, 8.5 years ago, I was on Camtasia 8, I think, which was the 2008 version. And then the boss, he did a whip around at work because I was retiring. They got some money together, gave me a voucher to go to a computer place and get a new computer. So he said he listed all the components. He'd rung the computer place up, listed all the components. He said, go and pick that up and then bring it to me. And he built it for me. I haven't updated the computer since then. But the software, every time I got an email from Camtasia that there was a new update, I'd go and have a look at the videos that came with the updates. And it's like, ooh, I like that feature. Ooh, I like that feature. And I kept upgrading my version to the point where last year I was using the 2025 version of Camtasia on my old computer. So I emailed tech support, absolutely brilliant after sales service. I got up the next morning, I'm in WA, they're in the United States, big time difference. I got up the next morning, there's a response to my email. And a guy said, I'm really sorry. He said, I need to see a video where this issue is happening. Could you send me one? So I found the shortest one, so it wasn't too big to send through the server. Sometimes, you know, your service provider limits the size of files you can send. So I sent one off, short one. Next morning I got up and yes, we've had a look at it. We can see that there is an issue there, but we can't locate the problem, what is causing it. So I'm upscaling it to somebody higher up. Thank you very much, appreciate your help. Next thing, I get an email from the higher up guy asking for specs, computer specs. So I'll go find the file, attach the file, send a zip file, send that off. And next day, didn't take him long to work out the problem. He came back, he said, your computer is not powerful enough to run the current software. These are the specs from my computer. That's all that is in there. And he's also in the email gave me this sheet of paper. Now on this side is the recommended specs. That's minimum, that's what I need. And this is extras that he thinks would be useful. Not just that page, but that page too. So you can see, I really do not have a very powerful computer. So I took it to my computer shop. It's just a little small shop. It's not one of the big, you know, chain box stores, whatever. It's just a little shop. Just a couple of guys run it. And I handed that to them and said, could you just give me a quote on what I am going to need? Which they did there and then, not a problem at all. And okay, I've got to save for that. I'm on a pension, so it's not that easy to save when big bills come in. I was lucky that one of my sons and his family gave me some cash for Christmas to put towards a new computer. So hopefully the next week or two I'll be able to get that sorted out and I'll have a new computer, and then my videos should be really good. Fingers crossed, and I can use some new features as well. So that's the computer issue, almost solved. The other thing I've got, you see the screen behind me. I used this for my Christmas video with the tinsel and the baubles. I'm keeping this. I'm looking at maybe changing this area. I don't know yet because it's only a small area I've got. Maybe a new webcam, because this webcam's very old. A new one might give us a bit more depth or length of, I don't know. I'm not sure how that will work. But I may have to change my seating area here because this wall's a nuisance. It looks like, so I may have to change this wall. It's very convenient for me because I've got magnet boards here, and if I need a calendar for anything so I can see the whole year in a calendar, I've got a magnetic one there, so I don't have to keep Googling one. So I'm actually going to be putting my logo, my little that shingle that I have. I'm doing that in vinyl, and I'm going to iron it onto here, so I'll always have the shingle behind me so you don't see what's in the shelves, which is messy. And if I'm outside and I'm in an area that's got messy area, shelving, whatever, I can put it across there as well, so that will always be behind me and hopefully look nice. So that's something else that's changing. Now project wise, I've got some old projects that I worked on that failed, were huge failures. One, for example, was my towel rail that I was making for up in the pool area. I have a go at anything. If I see something and I think, oh, that's expensive, I'll see if I can make it. I'll see what I've got around first instead of having to go out and buy things. Whatever's in the shed, I've got 3 sheds. There's always something I can find that I can make something with. If it doesn't work, doesn't matter. My mind's always ticking over with other stuff anyway, once it's cleared of all other family issues. Or bills. They're usually a pain in the neck. So I'm going to have another go at making the towel rail for up in the pool area. Also, I don't know if you saw the one where I'd made a long handle to put into the pool to get the water for testing. The pool shop is now under new management, and they've changed the size of the bottle, so the bottle doesn't fit in my little gadget. So I've now got to redo the gadget, so I'll be doing that. So you'll see me having a go at other things that I've already done and seeing if I can come up with a better way to do it. Also refurbishing some of the statues I've got in the garden. For some reason this year, the paint's flaked off, and I don't know why. I've never had that happen before. I could have statues out in the garden for 3 years and the paint doesn't disappear. All I can think of is maybe there's more birds because of the pool. There's been a lot of weeds because I haven't been able to get out in the garden, so they may be pecking at weeds. I don't know. So projects coming up are fixing things that didn't work, refurbishing stuff that I've been given. I actually acquired a whole stack of gnomes and toadstools that need a good clean up and paint. I will be getting a few things from my stepmom's home that I'll be putting out in my garden in the patio area, plants downside. That area will be redone, revamped. So yeah, and I'll video all of these, just it helps you with ideas for your place. You might not think you need any inspiration, but you never know. I've watched videos and think, ooh, that's a great idea. I'm going to have a go at that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if you don't need to fix something, well, don't fix it. So there's going to be a lot of that, and once the computer's up and running, I'm going to be doing a lot more on the G'day from WA. All the things that are available to seniors, but then I'm also going to be going into other age groups as well. It started off as seniors. Being a senior, it's all fresh in my mind. But once I've done all the senior thing, then I can start looking at other things and get information from other people. So if there's anything that you would like to hear about or see if I could do it, pop it down in the comments. And if I can't do it, and I have seen a video where somebody has done it and it's worked, at least I can pop a link into a video and say, well, look, go and check this person out, because they do that all the time and they're very good at it. I don't concentrate on one thing. I'm all over the place. It depends on what's going through my head on the day. I could be knitting a dress. I could be doing vinyl, ironing vinyl onto material, painting statues, painting plant pots, all sorts of odd things. So I might see something online and go, oh, I like that. Oh, gee, that's expensive. I wonder if I can make one. Talking of that, go back in my early videos and have a look at the Lighthouse toilet roll holder. That came from me seeing one online. It was a timber one. Looked great. Very expensive. Of course, then you've got to remember the exchange rate from the Australian dollar to the American dollar, and then the postage. So I made one. Quite cheap. So yeah, always look out for that. So that's it for now for this video. I don't know how I'll go next Wednesday. I'll see how I feel, whether I feel up to, emotionally, whether I feel okay to do a video. I might just do a little short project. I'll see how I go. Anyway, all the best. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.